Hey there, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies, and today I want to talk about the tension between innovation and tradition. I've had people over the years say, but Tad, I get bored with my business sometimes, and what about if I want to change it? I mean, I like the idea of creating a solid business model that's sustainable, that's reliable, that's really simple, but what if I get bored with that? And the first thing is, of course you're going to get bored. Of course, boredom will be there. Are you supposed to be ecstatic every time you do the dishes? Every time you go into your garden? A certain amount of life is just maintenance. You know, got some chickens here. Did they come in? One sec. Oh, I don't know what happened. Nope. Anyways, so a certain amount of life is just the grind. And when we think it should be different, this becomes a problem. You know, the resistance to the disturbance is the disturbance. So, yes, you're going to be bored. But it does make sense that we create a business model that is fulfilling for us. And because what people will say is, but what if I change? You know, I have a business and it's going along great, but what if I change and I want something else? Well, of course, but also even if you don't change, the marketplace will change. And so you're going to have to adapt, in other words, innovate. So let's imagine in business, on one side, there's innovation. Innovation, that's the new ideas. That's the muse strikes you. You feel drawn in some other direction or to create a new program, to burn everything to the ground, start fresh. You know, that's innovation at the extreme. And the other side, you've got tradition. And tradition, of course, is these are the programs you do every year. These are the packages you've had forever and ever. And there will always be a tension between these two. And I want to read this passage from John O'Donohue. This is from his book, Eternal Echoes. The restlessness in the human heart will never finally be stilled by any person, project, or place. The longing is eternal. This is what constantly qualifies and enlarges our circle of belonging. Or circles of belonging. There is a constant and vital tension between longing and belonging. Innovation and tradition. Without the shelter of our belonging or tradition, our longings or innovations would lack direction, focus, and context. They would be aimless and haunted, constantly tugging the heart in a myriad of opposing directions. Belonging without longing would be empty and dead. A cold frame around emptiness. There's something within you that no one and nothing else in the world will be able to meet or satisfy. When you recognize that such an unease is natural, it will free you from getting on the treadmill of chasing ever more temporary and partial satisfactions. This eternal longing will always insist on some door remaining open somewhere in all the shelters where you belong. It will intensify your journey but also liberate you from the need to go on many seductive but futile quests. So it's a balance. It's a constant tension. It never gives you a break. It never goes away. Innovation and tradition. If you are, you know, some days you're going to need to lean hard on the innovation, the new thing. But sometimes life is really shaky and we go back to tradition. We go back to what works. If you're in a place where there's a lot changing in your life, there's a lot going on, boy, go back to what's working. And if you're totally bored in your business and completely feels flat, then you can go to innovation. But it's not like one is right and the other is wrong. One is good and the other is bad. People can look at tradition as it's the shackles, you know, that constrain me. These are the limits I need to get over. But why did limits become a thing that we always have to get over? When did that happen? You know, the obsession with getting out of every set of shackles we find ourselves in becomes the shackle. The obsession with getting over every limit becomes our biggest limitation. The addiction to freedom becomes the dungeon. The wanting nothing but wild abandon becomes abandoning any kind of stability in our life. So, you know, that's how it is. It's like that. You're going to get bored sometimes, and you're also going to get shaky sometimes. But you've got those two friends there, and you can lean on them. as needed from time to time. But I see it so often in business. People get into business and they lean so hard on that innovation side, the freedom side, the longing side, the new. And maybe people need to do that for a while. But when you're done, you want to come back to the systems. The clients that I see lean way too heavily on the side of innovation, the freedom junkies. And they don't pay enough attention to systems, to practices, to skills, to processes in their business. They don't create the checklists. And so they're always freestyling all the time. That by definition, innovation means freestyling because it's new. It's never been there before. And they lean so hard on that, and they wonder why they're broke, and they wonder why they're struggling and flailing all the time. They say, I feel like I'm flailing. You are. That's true. So there you go. I think I've made my point. Thank you for watching. If you share these videos, it makes a huge difference. You can also see I've got shorter versions of a lot of these videos now on Instagram at Marketing for Hippies. There's a ton of free stuff on my website, marketingforhippies.com. Thanks so much for stopping by.